Welcome to our Q3 presentation. My name is Guðmundur Gíslason, and I'm the CEO of the company. With me today is our CFO, Róbert Róbertsson. There was a good growth of our biomass in sea and excellent condition for production. We managed to increase biomass by around 6,600 tons, so 76% in the quarter, and reached over 50,000 tons in sea by the end of Q3. We saw significant improvement of our smolt transfer during 2023, with 50% lower mortality compared to 2022. There's still a potential for further improvement, and our plan to do that is going forward. Harvest generation 22 started in September, and it took only 14 months of feeding due to our big smolts. The company is proud of reaching this milestone to get the generation 22 safe through harvest, and this is due to reorganization and actions taken to secure biological safety. We are moving expected harvest volume by 1,500 tons in Q4 and increase the volume for 2024 by the same amount of 21,500 tons. Reason is to optimize production and higher prices in Q1 expected. Contracts are currently 30%, and price attainment during quarter was at 86.8 NOK per kilo. Operational EBIT of 3.5 million NOK and EBIT per kilo of 18.2.
Good morning. You can see the financial highlights of the group balance. The balance sheet is strong with equity ratio over 66%. The main change on the balance sheet is related to continued build-up of biological assets. Our biomass build-up has been going well, and biological assets amounted to around 1.2 billion NOK at the end of the quarter. The biomass build-up is also the main reason for increased liability between quarters. Proceeds from borrowings amounted to 155 million NOK in the third quarter, which was mainly biomass financing. Trade and other receivables increased also by 71 million NOK due to increased feeding in the quarter. Net interest-bearing debt increased by 285 million NOK in the quarter. Investment of around 300 million NOK in biological assets is the main contributor to increased working capital during the quarter, thus increasing net interest-bearing debt. Along with investment in working capital, both CapEx investments and financial items are the main contributors to increased net interest-bearing debt. Total CapEx investment during the quarter amounted to 51 million NOK, bringing the total investment for the first 9 months this year to roughly 135 million NOK. The total CapEx budget for 23 is 200 million NOK, and for 24, 210 million NOK. However, updated CapEx projection indicates that investment will not reach 200 million NOK this year. This is due to delays in investment projects which have been moved from 23 to 24. However, the total projected CapEx investment for 23 and 24 remains 410 million NOK and are mainly focused towards improving the operational performance and to enable us to reach a stable production of 30,000 tons. We project that after 2024, investments will reach normal levels. Ice Farm is fully financed through 2025. The total facility of the syndicate loan amounts to roughly 156 billion euros. Net loans from the bank syndicate at the end of third quarter amounted to roughly 100 million euros.
Yes, and looking at our management, I have been the CEO of this company since it was established in 2012, for over 11 years. It has been an exciting journey with highs and lows, but now, when the company is in excellent position to reach the operational goals, fully financed, improved biosecurity, and highly dedicated and talented team, I decided to step down as CEO. However, I'm not going far, as I will put my focus on sales and marketing strategy with the goal of achieving premium prices on our quality salmon. We are working on hiring a new CEO, but in the meantime, I will continue to lead the company. And the current executive management team is experienced and highly skilled in their field. So I have nothing to worry about in this part. The company is also supported by Mosuva, which has over 50 years history in aquaculture industry. We have also good support from our Icelandic owners who have vast experience in the fish industry and are now on the board of Ices Farm to support strategy going forward. The company has been in operation since 2012 with over 150 dedicated employees. We have gained experience in Icelandic conditions both on land and sea. All operations are certified sustainable. ESG is important for our strategy. The use of thermal water and power reduces CO2. There are no chemicals in use and only natural coloring in our feed with full traceability. Being a responsible farmer is a cornerstone for our success. Our cooperation with major stakeholders such as government, investors, and financing partners. Operational performance on land. We have been implementing improvements on the biosecurity and water quality in our land stations, and we are already seeing positive effects. Improvements in water treatment have significantly improved quality of our smolt and growth. Smolt transfer in 2023 reached 5.4 million with average size of 300 grams, biggest groups up to 1 kilo. Transfer from smolt station improved as expected with about 50% higher survival rate after 16 days in sea. And we see possibility for improvements going forward. With updates and investment in smolt station, we aim to produce around 7 to 8 million 400 gram average size smolt in spring and autumn. This will increase utilization of sites in sea and reduce time in sea and therefore lower operational risk. On land north, you can see on the right side and pictures from building a new house we are building there. And that house is being constructed for our freshwater station up north to increase capacity and maintain high biological standards. And we are also planning to build 2 new 1,500 cubic tanks in our post-smolt station at Kópasker to increase size of smolt and the number of smolt from land north. And we have good news from land south that we are planning building a new station next to our post-smolt station. The location will be just by the post-smolt station where we have 27,000 cubics of capacity for post-smolts. And after this, when this has been done, we expect to produce about 3 to 4 million smolts at high quality, around 600 grams in May and 400 grams in August. And this will increase utilization of the sites and lower risk in sea. By building a new facility there, then we are combining everything under one roof. Hatchery for eggs, start feeding, on-growing, vaccination, and then finally office for employees and employee facilities. We will design this, and this is under designment, and we will have a top-of-the-line technology and a production plan to optimize growth and welfare of the fish. And see, best quarter ever, records in biomass production. We had around 10.2 million fish and over 15,000 tons in sea at the end of Q3 23. We increased the biomass of 6,500 tons. And biggest groups, we started harvesting on around 5.5 to 6 kilo after only 15 months in sea and 14 months of feeding. Average sea temperature was around 7.5 degrees. That's close to average in our farming areas. Minimal losses due to good sea conditions. We have, though, some incidents. For example, the jellyfish have as part of this season, and we managed to control that incident. Stopped feeding, checked what was the status, and adjusted feeding and maneuvers and tasks around the cages and managed to stop the incident, and fish recovered within about one and a half week. So this part of where I'm really proud of our team, that we are identifying challenges and finding solutions with a high-skilled team to manage the situations that come up. And we, to look at the equipment we had by merging the companies back in 2022, we see even further utilization of equipment. So we don't see much investment needed for 24 and 25 at the moment. But outlook for harvest, as I mentioned, we are moving 1,500 tons from Q4 to Q1 24, and that's based on good biological conditions. Fish is growing well, and also we see potentially higher prices in Q1 than currently. So we've been delaying a little bit harvest due to that. And what is the cause of, or why are we having this good situation? And that's because we are the only farmer in the total farming area of the East Coast. We implemented a coast zone management in 22 to reduce risk and increase biological results. Each zone has its own equipment, land base, and by land base we mean that the boat and the people, they have separate areas to go from the boat and backwards. So there's no interaction between sites, and even in Reyðarfjörður we built up a new land-based station. So we one in Reyðarfjörður and then one in Eskifjörður to separate the production zones. And the generations are split in spring and autumn, and all separate production zones. Fish in, fish out. And we've been farming fish in East Coast since 2012. And earlier than that, there were other pioneers. And so in total, there's been farming over 20 years in the East Coast. And this period, we have never had to handle any issues with sea lice. Though we are monitoring with the latest equipment, AI cameras, they can take over 20,000 pictures per day per case, and they can evaluate what the status of the fish is. Do they have sea lice? Do they have wounds, or are they growing as expected? And these cameras are really helpful on following up if there are some things happening in the cages, and we can also control harvesting periods and etc. with those cameras. And harvesting station Djúpivogur was being updated during the harvest break, and is done excellently. We have a high capacity and running at least 100 tons per day, and we see improved security on blood water treatments and general cleanliness of the site and for the fish and also the environment. Sales, we have fixed sales contracts, and we secured around 30%. We have not increased that much over the last weeks, but our goals has been around 50%. But due to that, we are quite expecting good prices in Q1 next year. That we haven't gone higher on contracts. Certifications are in place on Whole Foods and AgroGap for sustainable salmon, and we are working on ASC and hope to have that in place in Q3 in 24. So overall, outlook has not changed much from Q2 report. We adjust harvest to increase price and utilize best growing season. Output of smolt is the same. Strategies is work. The main new one is that the board is looking into possibility of dual listing the company on First North in Iceland. This listing could improve the accessibility of Icelandic investors for the company. So we're looking optimistic on that. And then also there has been some news, quite a lot of shaking in Iceland regarding volcanic activity on the southwest coast. So it's quite far away from our farming areas. And we just hope that things go well going forward.